Yes, indeed. I'm glad we're seeing Cobblestone for the first map of the Elite Series Season 2. Yeah, for me, favorite map, reason being is as the AWPer, as the sniper, there's so many ways you can play the T side, so many ways you can play the CT side, as the rotate player between B, of course A, playing towards connector and whatnot. But I believe we'll be going live very, very soon with the knife round, and of course, following that, the pistol, and of course, the actual gun rounds, and eventually the game.
And that's one of the things to touch on as well. Obviously, that knife round, depending there on what side they're going to start on, we saw a lot of that throughout all of the last season of Elite Series. UK teams have issues depending on those sides. We saw that where CT sides could not come together.
It's true.
Endpoint have actually put a lot of time in now. They've found a stable roster. Everyone seems to have the same ideals, the same momentum, and they seem to be the only team that's really had a lot of practice time. Do we feel like they're really going to sort of show that CT sides have improved this season?
It seems like every single time the Endpoint roster changes, there's a sudden burst of motivation across the whole of the team, and the team performs very well.
You get the honeymoon.
Yeah, exactly. For me, this Endpoint roster is looking very, very good. If they can stay motivated, stay humble, and stay, well, essentially firing on all cylinders like they have been so far for ESL Prem, which they won, and of course the other qualifiers, WC qualifier that was last night. If they can keep playing on that level, they could definitely poise to take that #1 spot in the UK.
Yeah, and they had a fantastic result there as well. The actual team that they took on in the semi-finals to go on to win that event was a huge team. We saw them facing off against players like Fry on that LAN environment, and this was the first time we actually really got to see Endpoint on LAN, and they played fantastic.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And for me as well, obviously, the WSG qualifiers were last night, and Endpoint won that. Infused played in that as well. They came, I believe it was 3rd or 4th. They lost out to Excel. And obviously, Excel losing to Endpoint. In terms of the chain and whatnot, does that make Endpoint therefore better than Infused online? But obviously, both teams playing standards, so you can't really look into that too much. Then again, recent form, you've got to be put into Endpoint. They're the ones that have really been performing on LAN. And at this point, on the big stage, LAN is all that matters.
Yeah, and I think the two sort of faces that people might not be familiar with as well, if you did tune into the last season of Elite Series, it is going to be YNC and Fasha. Players like Zed were actually around, but they were doing things behind the scenes, now stepping back into a more active role playing on Infused. Zed, when you think about sort of teams he's been involved with throughout the past, it's always been that Infused roster, always sort of been paired up with Neil M players like this. Obviously, he's sort of coming now as the replacement as well for James. Being no more Red Snake, he's slivered off to the bench.
No more James. That is quite heartbreaking, really. For me, Red Snake, Aaron, Neil M, the staples of the Infused lineup. Obviously, you've got to be honest here. You have to be truthful. Red Snake just didn't put up the numbers, right? Statistically, he was the worst player in the Elite Series, and Infused coming 5th. They were so close to that 4th position. Had a chance at that 10 grand for finishing 4th. Or if they could have done better, maybe even higher. But for them, obviously, they pointed the fingers that way towards James. They took him out. They brought in George Bears. Obviously, has won tournaments in the UK years and years ago. Took a break from Counter-Strike to do his degree, I believe, but now he's back. And let's see if he's back to old form.
Yeah, exactly. And Dancy's as well, one of the young blood players. He finally sort of stopped his stint in CEX. We saw him sort of float around for a little bit. He was trying to find a home. Now comes in and joins Infused. Is this where we finally see the true display of skill that we've expected to see from Dancy's that, just hasn't come out in the past? Because we know he has so much potential wrapped up inside him.
Yeah, for Dancy's, it's really about time for me. How long is it going to take for him to get comfortable into this roster, into the LAN environment? But then again, of course, having 9 weeks in the Elite Series, we're going to be seeing some stellar performances from him throughout.
Yeah, they seem to actually be jumping straight into the action as well. So we are live. They have been able to take site control as the kills will be raining through. Max is going to find one towards Zed as well, so he goes down. It's all up to Fry in a 1v5 outside of the site as well. It's a retake situation. So it's not really a great way to kick off the first round here.
Yep, obviously no kit as well. Not really any chance here. Fry's goal in this round right now, trying to see if he can get as many kills as possible. Each kill is $300. He can save the Kevlar as well. Then he can maybe bring in a CZ armor next round, but actually will eventually go down. So for me in that scenario, 3-for-1 versus 5, you may as well save the Kevlar, the $750. You don't have to buy up into the next round. You can buy a UMP there, keep your normal Kevlar. But of course, to get 1 kill is $300, but more importantly, Endpoint taking the B site, and of course, the first round.
Yeah, it's good as well. Let's see what the reinvestment's actually going to be. It's actually quite strong on rifles here, Snods. Going for the free AK setup, just 2 SMGs. They want to just try and win these rounds consistently rather than going for the cash build-up.
Yeah, no chance of being taking it from Endpoint. Usually, you might be seeing 2 or 3 UMPs, a MAC-10 here or there, but actually, Endpoint not going to be taking the risk today. Obviously, the first game on LAN, maybe, but nerves unsettled. You want to have those AKs out there, take away any chance that Infused have into this one. As we go into round number 2, there's going to be the force by count from Infused. Of course, Dancy's the young blood player and talent for the side of Infused, only buying the Deagle, which means he will have an AWP into the first buy round, and he'll have Kevlar as well, thanks to that nice one Deagle.
Absolutely popping off straight away. Dances is a bit of a disco man when it comes to wielding the Deagle. He knows how to kick things off with some flashy antics. We're talking scouts, we're talking Deagles, anything that
he's really
involves,
good with the unorthodox weaponry.
Yeah, that's true. Sort of very flashy plays. He wants to go in. He'll get those early tags. Even if he doesn't find kills, Dances is one of these players that's very good at roaming around individually and lowering the health on everyone on the other side.
And he's very good at being explosive in rounds as well, making those big 3Ks, double entry from a Deagle or a scout headshot, giving his team chances into the round which they might not actually had a chance in prior. Anyway, the Mantis advantage for Endpoint, 55 seconds left on the clock, and they're still going towards being challenging Dances once again.
Haven't been able to recover the weapon of the player. He did take down though, but he's still armed and firing through. That's 2 frags for Dances before he's eventually put out of his reign of terror. Sight control is slowly being taken as Endpoint encroach in. They are finding frags, but it's way too late into the round now. Aaron as well, wielding that CZ, connects a headshot towards Stanley. It's a 2 versus 3. Bomb
though, eventually going to go down. Imi going to be smoking off the right side of the site. Smoke planted towards Dethon, Fashion out towards Chicken Coop as well. Imi spots out one player towards Rock, but they're worried about that flank.
Oh, Aaron, he's coming in. Aaron can be incredible. Always been up the top of the UK scene in terms of individual firepower and how effective he can be. He finds the kill on Fasha. Zed takes down Imi as well. They reset them. Endpoint, they played it smart. They wanted to go for rifles, try and play it slow, but Dances finds their weakness.
Exactly. Yeah, that one player there towards platform from Endpoint, Jiggle peeking towards plat, trying to get the information. The problem was Dances tore his head off, and at that point, Endpoint were forced to funnel themselves in towards the B site and walk into the stack wonderland of B, which had, of course, Dances once again and Aaron, both those 2 players picking up 2 kills and, well, basically amounting in the 1-1, drawing us here. We're already at round number 3, the force by the counter force by coming from Endpoint. You can see as well, Imi staying at 1.6k. The reason being is he wants to have the AWP into the first Byron in case they do lose this round. Nevertheless, though, he still will have Kevlar and whatnot. So, 5 upgraded pistols here. Actually, 5 CZs from the T side. This could be a drop to B, a B split. Guess you're about to find out here. The smoke comes out towards platform. Max line at the molly as well. He wants to flush out Dances from that stairs position as they approach that smoke here, ready to burst out and swarm B.
Charge in, hope for the best. All guns blazing. Let's see if it will work out. They do have a Taddy utility to aid them. Flashbangs comes over. Dances has to fall off the tree position. It's such an effective angle. They're smoked out as well. All lines of sight have been taken. Aaron trying to play around it a little bit, but he does back off. Doesn't want to overextend too far. They have played this very nicely on the eco here.
But now the retake shall begin. Smokes as they dissipate here. There's going to be no smokes to force back the CT side. It's going to be a rough retake here for Infused.
Yeah, you see the 1 flashbang on Fasher as well. Now that can be so critical and then being able to try and go for a play. They are peeping up though, and their heads are getting taken off. Dances and Mickle execute the first 2 men in the front line. Stanley just waiting it out, spams over the CZ. Will get one, but the triple face is too much to handle. Imi as well, miles away there as he was just trying to stay alive late into the round. They do take 2 casualties on the side of Infused, and they at least get the bomb down.
But they've won versus the Force by. Now they're going to be met, hopefully, by an eco from Endpoint. Obviously, in that scenario there, if you were Endpoint, maybe if it's a 1 versus 1 or a 1 versus 2 there, and the money was low for Infused, it might go for a Force by into this round as well. But actually, because of 3 players staying alive for Infused, Endpoint will be taking a round of the chin here and ecoing. That's one of the issues when you go for those heavy executions, using all 5 or 4 smokes. You have no smokes or utility for the retakes, and it makes it very easy for the CTs just to swarm the site, play the trade game. You saw what happened there. Stanley gets 1 kill, but he's instantly traded out. And from there, like dominoes, they just fall 1 by 1. Anyway, they're round number 4, and it will be the eco coming for Endpoint. Fry one already getting the first one to Imi. It's looking likely that Infused get poised at 3 rounds already.
Yeah. Fry gets a lot of information from that as well, because that's the 1 player that's situated towards A. They're now going to flood in, just once again try and go for this B play. Basically just getting this round out of the way if they can. Nice shot from Aaron there and towards Max at the very end. But they do get all 3 rounds off of resetting Endpoint off the pistol.
So, going to be seeing a UMP there for Dances. Will he be bringing it forward into the buy rounds? Actually, Aaron there dropping over an AWP for Zaki. Oh, Dances, apologies, but UMP disregarded. It's going to be the full rifle round here for Endpoint as well. No AWP for Imi. We saw him save earlier on, but actually he's going to be investing that money into the utility instead. He wants those grenades. He wants the heavy execution style to try and counter whatever Infused are bringing to the party.
Yeah, obviously only having 5.2k, it was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, you can buy AWP, smoke or something like that, but then you're lacking flashes and molotovs, which you need for that B site. Molly out tree, molly out stairs, which we know Dance is going to be roaming constantly, and of course mollying out chicken coop. You can actually pre-molly chicken coop behind the smoke. There's a lineup there towards the cubby. I don't think they're going to be bringing that out just yet. Max going to be seeing if he can test Dances here and try to win that 1 versus 1.
Max needs to find this as well. If he can get the headshot nicely sprayed, he will be able to connect the wall bang on all Dances. That's the AWP eliminated and the third entry going their way, but they have to try and keep this power in numbers. Instant bomb plant as well coming down. Mick going to find the head of Fasher. Aaron, he's risking it a little bit here as he plays close to smoke. He does want to try and push it, go for an audacious play, but Aaron goes huge! Just a triple already! That is so spectacular from Aaron there. Goes on to make it the quad kill. We said he can be incredible, and he already wants to show that. His head is glimmering already.
Brilliant play there from Aaron. Hugely experienced here. Obviously, being on the stage is not going to phase him one bit. For the Endpoint side, yes, in terms of online form, winning the ESL Premiership as well. Coming into this tournament, the Elite Series Season 2, they are poised as, in current form, the best UK team. Then again, as well, you could argue Excel. Yes, we're about to find out. Anyway, though, 4-1 is going to be the scoreline here. 3-round advantage for Infused already on the CT side as we go into round number 6. No AWPs right now for the CT side, but that's, of course, merited because there's no AWP. Sorry, there's no buy round. From Endpoint, you want the rifle to mow down, which we're about to see.
Frey gets the info, falls back, Molotov to try and soften him up a bit. It'll make this barbecue a little bit easier for him to chew him down. Yannick with a nice shot, actually, though, as he will connect towards Zed. More like dead right now as he is down on the ground. Frey falls back, Smoke in to try and protect him, though, as he will just hold off. They have the info, but they have already lost the player. But look how low everyone is on Endpoint.
Question is right now for Infused, how are they going to play this 4 versus 5? The man deficit right now. Are they going to play for information towards B, have dances go towards stairs, peek towards platform? Or are they just going to push towards or peek MCK? And it's obviously a very poor decision. Peeking versus potentially one of the best skilled players in the UK.
Yeah, in terms of just raw rifle potential, he really can land those shots. Incredible. I bet he'd be fantastic at darts.
Oh yeah, 180, time after time again.
Right. Push come through, we'll get one. They do clear the angle as Stanley will connect the shot with a CZ there. So they're keeping this quite close, actually. It's a 3 versus 3 stance. You can see Mick just holding from behind Truck here. He can be critical if he finds these frags.
Yeah, still the 3 versus 3 though. Endpoint able to pick up 2 AKs as they approach the A side. They saw what they can do with them.
He'll be pushing in. Mick does overextend a little bit. Oh, he's able to make it work. Goes down to Stanley, though, as the refrags are coming in. Stanley going fantastic as he gets the double kill. Stanley on for the hat-trick as well. Finally, Endpoint get around. A little bit of a mismatch into that one. Didn't really expect to see him picking that up, but they crawled it back. They go through. Finally, you get around the board. They just need to have some kind of consistency here. Keep this going. Their T-side not looking as fantastic as it has done.
One of the advantages, though, is they have won with a half buy, which means before going into the round, you've already got about 2,000 in the bank already. Yeah. You then win with those CZs and Kevlars. You pick up the AKs, you save yourself investing into weaponry. You can see a few players in Endpoint having $6,000, so that's great for the economy of the T side. Imi going to be bringing out the AWP as well into this one. And actually, we're going to be seeing 2 AWPs from Infused, one AWP towards A and one AWP towards B, which I like. Good setup so far. You can see Dancy's actually, wait, are they bringing both AWPs towards A? They are. Fry one AWPing towards A long, Dancy's AWPing towards middle. So if Endpoint go for a flash, a normal take, a default take towards A long, but if they go contact, that could be the end.
Well, there's some cheeky little Kurt angles in play from Infused as well, but unfortunately we won't get to see them as they are. Falls back, the smoke goes down, just holding out to see if he can punish them if they want to push through. Fry realizes that it's a bit of a bold decision.
Thing is as well, Fry one shooting his AWP towards A long. The question is, does Endpoint expect another AWP towards middle? I guess you're about to find out here. Dancy's still holding the angle to see if anyone will peek him. They still do have Mighty Max towards B. He's still got his nades as well. So what they can do is wait 10-15 seconds, have Max use his utility towards the B site, and then try and force a rotation towards B from Zed.
Yeah, this is good as well. They're actually using their utility very nicely over on the side of Infused. You can see how much is left this late into the round. It was a smart Molotov there coming out.
So now you see Max using his nades towards B, but look, you can see Zed not phased by it. Actually, maybe they are. You can see Dance is going to rotate back towards the B side. Off of the nades, been thrown by Mighty Max. Let's see if this can throw a span in the works.
Oh, they push straight through. Led as the... Oh, Zed trying to find those frags. He needed to try and hold it down. He is the lurk player as he was just waiting for the push to come towards him. Takes the brute force of the attack. Fry on the site now as well. He'll get the information. They are close together. Infused can try and play this correctly. That's a huge tag as well from Fry. It's not quite a frag just yet, though, as this onslaught is coming their way. Stanley, in the prior round, he was lethal, but today, Aaron has found the key to stopping him. Imi gets the headshot as well, though. Takes down Fry. Mighty Max slowly tiptoeing up towards the site. It's all on Max now. A 1v2. Max gets the double kill. If he can find the hat-trick, pick up this round, it'd be incredible. He's only got 9 seconds. He needs to react fast and flash his way on towards the site and get that bomb down. Plants just in the nick of time. It's a 1v1 here against Dancy's. Can he hold his composure? He doesn't need to. The nade rolls out, blows him out of the server, and Endpoint will not be connecting those rounds today.
The reset going to be coming to fruition here for Endpoint. The question is, how much money have they got left in the bank here? They win the force, or the half buy, they don't really force into it. They won the half buy, the quasi buy. They managed to pick up those AKs off the dead bodies from Infused, save themselves the investment, but how much have they saved going to this one when their round loss bonus is reset back to 1.4k? I guess we're about to find out, and it's not looking too good. 8,000 there for Stanley, so he can drop over an AK, which he shall. So we are going to be seeing a good buy regardless, actually. 5 AKs coming out from the side of Endpoint, but you can see no money left in their bank. If they lose this round here, this could easily be 6-2 to Infused, and Eco 7-2. This is best of ones, remember here, Jackie. Pistol going in favor of Endpoint, and already it's looking like a strong advantage here for Infused. after losing that initial pistol.
Reminiscent of what we saw last season as well. The storyline was Endpoint should take a victory over Infused. We saw them actually only go 1-1 in a scenario where it seemed like Infused were going to take the, both wins on that, actually win the series overall. So
and they should have got 2-0 as well off Emmy's 1v4. Anyway, then, MCK going to be going down already. It seems like Endpoint now going to be changing their gaze towards drop control. This is smart here. Obviously, so far they've been going very linear towards B from platform, or very linear towards A, long towards the A side, but now they're trying to see if they can add the splits into their game plan. Obviously, take control of drop, you can split towards B, and again, split towards the A side. You force so much pressure on the CT side when it comes to the defense. You can see already, Zed is alone towards the A side. Fry1 has to take the mantle of holding drop.
Let's see what Frag can achieve here as well. Normally, very effective in whatever role you throw him into. He's a bit of a jack of all trades, and the thing is, normally you say jack of all trades, master of none, but Frag's actually pretty good at everything you throw him into.
Yeah. Anyway, though, here it comes. 4 players towards platform. Are they going to flash it? Is Aaron going to be ready for this?
Aaron and Dances. See if they can hold this back. The Red Army coming into effect as they will find the first kill. Stanley going to trade it, though, as he rips through his AK-47. Flasher as well, heating things up as Dances gets taken down in a bit of a disco inferno. Sight control has been taken as well. The Molotovs are soaring through the skies. Fry going to try and go for a cheeky play as he will get one. Absolutely juicy stuff as he wants to keep it going. But it wasn't meant to be. Flasher and Imi come in for the final frags, and they do get around. It's a close game so far. Very down to the wire in every individual round.
5-3 now. Endpoint bringing this one back slowly. Having control of drop there was so paramount to them actually winning that round. You saw if Dances was towards Chicken, holding towards platform, Endpoint had no players going towards drop. They know that the CT side had to appoint some of their defense towards drop. It meant Aaron alone towards platform, Dances alone towards drop, and that meant having a 1 versus 4 essentially to take control of the B side. Anyway, though, here it comes. Round number 9. As you're going to see the Eco come out from Infused, so they reset. Endpoint, they lose that round. Endpoint have enough money in the bank to buy into round number 8, and now into round number 9, they actually reset the cash of Infused, who are now going to be ecoing.
Right, Max here. Going for the information play early on, as he is over towards B. Aaron actually going to be taking the front mantle here, as he is armed with a deagle. It's him and Dances that want to try and find those initial frags if Endpoint stick their nose out like last time.
Let's see if Aaron can try and replicate the performance from Dances here. Spots the first play, eventually will go down. Marty Max will win that duel. These players have no Kevlar, so one shot from the AK will, of course, impact them with the aim punch.
Yeah, not as bad as it has been. Obviously, we saw the slight lower in the patch that came through, but it's still quite a big effect.
Yeah, I feel like it's had a lot more impact on the AWPs.
Yeah.
On the AWP than it has the pistols. Nevertheless, though, it's going to be the man advantage for Endpoint versus the Eco. It's looking extremely likely this is going to go 5-4, and things are going to get very, very close.
Max still just holding. Listen out for the audio cues. They do seem like they are setting their gaze towards this B-bomb site. They do want to attempt to try and mount their attack. Let's see if they can actually find success here as Dances goes for the white peak. Very interesting, I'd say, as he did just wide face and try and find the shots to the deagle. Mick on the site, popping off a couple of shots here and there with the USP. Can't quite find too much, though. It's all on Fry and Zed now. Fry from range, normally lethal, but when he does only have the USP, you can't expect the most from Zed coming in as well. But Yannick was poised and finds the kill.
Once again, going to be seeing Fry last alive at the 1 versus 5 towards Connector. Obviously, with the AKs here, they can't really hunt too well. $300 per kill. It's not the same as having an SMG, but whenever that's right now for Endpoint, it's about the rounds. Best of 1, so each round matters here.
Things as well. Good point to point out right now. If they can actually try and bring this back, Endpoint get themselves to, let's say, in theory, if they do now. Go on, get this
8-7, 9-6, yep.
Yeah, they need to then deny Infused of getting that open pistol. They want to try and stop them from getting 10 rounds.
If Endpoint make this 9-6 here, and they go on their CT side, they win that second pistol as well. If you win both pistols in the best of 1, you are definitely poised to take the best of 1. Nevertheless, though, it's going to be 5 AKs going from Endpoint once again. No AWP for Imi this time. It's going to be a high octane level of CS here. It's not going to be using and utilizing the AWP, but right now there's no drop control. How is that going to impact the B play?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. See if they can actually find success here. Aaron playing anti-flash close towards the wall. He could be so massive. He only gets one before it goes down, but Dances and Mick find some frags themselves as well. Dances still alive. He will get that kill towards Imi just before Yannick takes him down. Yannick, very effective individual skill player. We've seen that online. We've seen it on LAN as well. Can he show it once again today?
Has full nades as well, can smoke off to the right side. Now he can bait that he's gone towards stairs, or he's gone towards Speedway. And this way, Infused have to be wary.
Oh, very swift there as he gets that headshot. This is massive from Yannick. It's got to be the quad for him to pick up the rounds. He just needs to play for time here as well. You can see Zed just tiptoeing around the site, looking for a back to strike upon. He wants to try and find something to give him a little bit to work with as he'll make a tad bit of noise. Going to tap the bomb as well. The smoke goes down. Yannick just going to sprint back round, try and force him off. He does come off the bomb, goes to the pre-fire as well. Just waiting it out right now. The time is not in his favor. He has to push him. Yannick playing this fantastically. He's just waiting it out, going to try and reface. Zed will get it, but there's no time to defuse.
Very, very well played there by YNC. Yannick in the 1 versus 2. You saw he does the smoke towards the right side of sight. Denies vision from drop or electric towards default, towards statue. Takes the 1v1 versus the initial player towards connector, and then wins it as well versus Zed. Zed not having a kit there. It's very hard to win that scenario. So round number 11 now, 5-5, Infused. You can see their money is so low once again. The only player weaponry and Kevlar is going to be Zed. Run out for Infused after losing that initial pistol as well. You lose your CT side pistol on Cobblestone, even if the scoreline goes 9-6, they can still be fairly happy with that. The problem is it puts so much pressure on that second pistol. If Infused win both pistols here, they could easily have a very, very big lead, maybe even 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah, you can see Endpoint as well. They're finally starting to get their confidence and sending Max in for these early aggressive missions towards B site, trying to find the early picks. They do bound out once again. The anti-flash angles work fantastically though, as they are starting to find the kills on their CT side. Aaron, you arm him as well. You give him an AK. He's going to start to slay with it as he just rips his way through everyone. But Stanley's in the rear. Only going to be the one today though before he goes down. It's all on Emmy. The IGL and will he be able to lead by example in this one, or Endpoint, will they let it slip?
Yes, the bomb. If only he knew that both players right now were coming from his flank, sorry, he could go towards the A side right now. But let's see, one more out towards stairs, but that's a very, very clinical shot there from MCK to take him down. And once again, we're seeing another eco round win here. Start of Infused, they won the second round, and they win this one as well. Going into this one right now, can Endpoint try and reset that money once again? Infused going to be taking the lead in this first matchup here, the best of one, Cobblestone. 6-5, 1 round lead at that, but you can see the money is low. Only 2 players with $2,000 for the side of Infused, and those are players that were dropped, the AKs that were picked up by Endpoint, so Endpoint is still in the running for this one. If they can get this round here, make it 6-6, force out an eco or a weak force buy, they can still finish off this half with the lead.
Yeah. Just wondering as well what they're going to bring to the table already on their CT side, how much sort of strategy they have set up there. I think we've seen this full lineup of Endpoint actually play Cobblestone in the past. They look like they did have a lot of good teamwork behind them. Obviously, Jakey's been going in sort of in that full-time coach role, trying to get things up to scratch and working on heat maps to aid them. Oh, Dancy's though. You just can't read that. You can't expect this sort of stuff. Dancy's just going for these initial faces every time. He's playing with a lot of confidence. Good to see as well, because we saw issues with that with Dancy's on land before. Sometimes he wouldn't go for the plays that you know he can hit.
Here comes the sandwich though. 2 towards middle and 2 towards drop right now. It's going to be the 2 versus 4, sorry, towards the A site right now in favor of Endpoint. Let's see what Zed and Fry1 can do.
It's all a bit of a fluster, but Zed armed up with Fry. Let's see if this dynamic duo can cause a bit of a stir, or if they will go down kicking. Zed just waiting, doesn't really want to go for the peek yet. They're playing this very nicely as well, just blocking all the angles. It seems like they might be unaware of this. They're actually spamming towards them. Yannick will peek though, goes down to Fry's AK as they will now try and mount the retake. Mighty Max going to peek, gives away his position. He could be sidelined here, but no one wanted to risk pushing through connector. He does know their angles. It's a 3v3. This is anyone's round right now. Fasher though, timing not going to work for him. Dances as well. Pops Fasher, Max goes down. Infused, keeping it rolling.
Oh, we're going to see a more passionate Nearlem this season, considering that it is best of ones. And obviously there is more to play round after round.
It's all on the line.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Did Endpoint expect a full rotation away from the A side towards B? Off of the back of, I don't even know, did they even throw, they threw the Olaf Master Smoke towards platform, a flashbang and that, you're not going to get a full rotation towards the A side from that. You also saw no presence towards drop from the CT side as well, so where are those missing 2 players? Obviously, Endpoint thought they were pushed out towards long, that's why you saw the smoke there, or they thought they were pushed towards middle. So, poor read there from Endpoint, and luckily it will bite them back, and you can see the quasi-buy coming out from the side of the Ts. It's going to be 3 sets of Kevlar here. And of course, 5 CZs once again. Endpoint have already won one of these rounds earlier towards the A site, but this time it's looking like they're going to be going for a drop split towards A. Let's see if MCK can this time deny controller drop from Endpoint.
This could just be a bloodbath for him. It's a meat grinder that's been set up in front of him, and he's ready to just crank the handle and grind everyone up. Some lovely little sausages for dinner, as he will get the first frag, takes down Max, ready for the second as well, but it's Aaron that's going to chime in. They're going to tag out and allow him to do a bit of damage as well. They do rain a fair bit of havoc as they pop them down to just 2 remaining members. It's Imi and Yannick left in a 2v3. They have the bomb stuns. They've got a minute and 10 to play with. They're going to throw the bomb back up as well so Imi can grab it. There's not too much they can achieve here.
Dance with the AWP as well towards Chicken Coop. Yeah, it's a smoke, so we can smoke out electric and hold towards platform, or do vice versa. But let's see, the flank coming from Zed right now, you can see he's from behind, clearing out the whole of A. So right now they know that it's going to be towards the B side.
Oh, what a fight to take as well. The AWP versus the CZ. Never really a fight you want to be in. I mean, actually doing damage with it. He can try and bypass them right now as Zed is up to his old tricks. He's flanking behind. He's miles away. Zed will get the info. You can see looking over there, so he must have heard some kind of audio cue. They will go for the full rotate. Dancy's still just waiting to see if it's a double back, but Imi can get the bomb down.
Yeah, the bomb plant is big. Extra $800. That means full set of utility. Also means potentially the AWP as well for Imi if he wants to bring it out into the final round. Let's see. He's planted for A long, and he's playing towards cannons to see if he can line up those heads.
It all depends on timing really here. And the thing is as well, look at Infused in terms of the amount of utility they have. Imi has nothing. He doesn't have armor to his name. He's just left with just a rifle and a dream. They will peek out. He spots out Dances. He should be aware of his location. He's waiting to see if there is more coming his way. He gets one, but if he faces it, that's when he'll fall short. Zed was ready for it. Knew he had to swing out. You'll better find the kill. And this time, Zed does have the kit.
Yeah, you can see the impact of having no Kevlar did that for Imi. But of course, the bomb down is good enough. An extra $800 injected into the balance here from Endpoint, which means they should be able to go for a full buy. Question is, though, are we going to be seeing the AWP coming out for Imi? And if so, how is that going to change and restructure their round? So far, it's been so heavy towards their B site. Play on your screens right now, Fasha. When we casted ESL Prem Finals, he was lights out, definitely the MVP. But then again, where is he right now? His team Ethan?
Yeah, he looked fantastic. You know, we saw him just constantly getting these massive frags in. So, rebuys do come back through as well. We got Imi back on the AWP. Now, Imi in the AWP, we've not seen too much of the explosive entry, but we know it definitely can be there.
Boost towards drop it from Dancy, something that we haven't seen so far from Infused. Let's see if it's going to be enough to catch off Endpoint. This means a big lack of the black control, but actually Stanley there spots out the head there from Dancy's, and already one of the mantles. Scalps taken from Infused, amount of advantage here for the T side.
That was cheeky. They went for the little counter boost, the reverse play. Obviously, Stanley being able to find that headshot as well.
And what he did was he was crouched as well, which meant that Dancy's couldn't see him, but obviously Stanley could see Dancy's. Nevertheless, though, 1 minute 15 on the clock. Going to be played through middle right now. Fry one towards Matrix. Spots on the foot, gets the first.
Yep, Fry, always a bit of a nuisance when it comes to this angle. Very effective at playing around Matrix towards a bomb site. Does have support, though, as he will be falling back, trying to link up with the rest of his squad as the push is coming in. Max leading the charge. He's just tapping away towards Wood. Fasher going to go all in as well. Risks it all as he's a bit of a gambler. Will go down the end, but Max and Stanley firing off as a dynamic combo. They're hitting the left and right as they will take down the opposition. They want to try and take site control as well, but Mick, burnt out, can't quite push through the fire and the flames.
There may be a call to save here from Infused. If they don't get a kill quick, they might have to call this one in and throw the towel.
They're going to try and push through, though. Aaron wants to grab the ball by the horns. Let's see if he can. Struggling right now. You can see the panic as they realize they might have just fluffed it and thrown this potential lead away. Max and Yannick get the second kills. Headshots start to come through. They do get it. And this is better as well. They need to try and get this to an 8-7 scoreline. They want to deny as many rounds as they can. If the closer Infused get to 10 rounds here, it's going to be scary because they don't want to give them that free bonus point.
So, this is the thing. Look at the money right now for Infused. Why not just give that save call?
Yeah.
You know, 2 versus 3, retaking the A site. Such a hard site to retake, especially when you had players underneath balcony, towards middle, playing the headshot angle towards top mid, and of course a player towards wood as well. Just save it. Right now, you could have an extra 2 rifles. This could be essentially a full buy with a deagle onto Aaron, potentially. Anyway, round number 15 here, the final round of the first half hit, and the first game at that of Season 2 Elite Series already going off for the bang.
Really has been. Been a bit of an explosive one. And the thing is, you say Aaron, you know, only on the deagle, but that kind of is a full buy for Aaron. So let's see what he can achieve as he wants to try and peek around the angle. Stanley spots him out first, struggling to compose himself, goes down. Oh, Zed as well. Just trying to try and go for the quick trade back. But Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
So, 5 versus 3 here, 2-man advantage for the side of Endpoint. Imi as well. Stanley chimes in as well to make it the 4-man advantage here, just leaving Dances, the new blood into the team. And a welcome to the stage at that in the 1 versus 5. No real chance of winning this one. Only as a CZ, no Kevlar, only got a flashbang to his name. So 8-7 half hit, which shall conclude. Endpoint after winning the pistol, you thought this should be a 9-6, maybe even a 10-5 in their favor.
It's quite crazy how quickly the game got turned around. Most of it actually from Aaron getting incredible individual plays as well. So Dances goes for the suicide play. Will get one, obviously. He knew he wasn't going to achieve too much there. And they bring it back a little bit. A manageable scoreline, but definitely not really what you expect looking at these 2 rosters on paper.
The thing is, when the game is this close, 8-7, it can't get any closer. This pistol is crucial. The reason being is it sets the momentum in the second half. If the T's win the second pistol here, the T's, of course, being Infused. If they go 1-1 in terms of pistols, and then Endpoint force buy, then suddenly they won't have a full set of utility into the first buy round. Might be seeing a lack of AWP from Imi in the first buy round as well. For me, if Infused take this second pistol, make it 9-7, win versus the force buy and the eco, they will have, what, an 11-7 advantage suddenly into their first buy round for Endpoint on their CT side if they lack the AWP and the utility. We could already be seeing a bit of an upset coming up.
Yeah. And you wonder as well if that was sort of the wake-up call for Endpoint now. They've had their first few rounds. They've gotten the jitters out with the AKs. They're ready now to play that consistent team-based CS on their CT side. That's one of the things where they might be able to work better as a unit as well because they've had more time. I think that they're the right now in terms of UK teams other than XL that have actually been able to work their way through. You know, they're the only team that sort of now got a longer string going. XL obviously the longest lasting team right now.
Are you talking about Endpoint or Infused?
Endpoint, in terms of how long they've actually had to sort of get some strategy behind them. You know, we've not had too many teams that have really been able to stick together and continue working on things.
I'm just trying to think, when did this team actually form? It was straight after the first season of the Elite Series. It was at about 4 weeks. Pretty much the same as Method and some other teams as well. Guess we're about to find out. So, Infused, T-side. If they win this pistol here, will that set the pace and the momentum going forward into the second half? Endpoint, if they take the CT pistol, if they win both pistols, they're going to be in the running to take this best of one.
Yeah, it'll all be happy days for them. They'll be absolutely loving it. But let's see if that is going to be the case. Endpoint right now, very heavy situated towards that B-bomb, as they will. Be expecting the push to come through. There should be information going towards Yannick as well. He should hear all these footsteps as they will try and readjust because of this, but they've really just sprinted straight through, Snods. They've taken the brute force approach and it's worked for them. They've got in towards the bomb site. They've locked it down already. This has to be a 5 versus 5 retake, and there is a lurk in the rear.
Fry1 coming behind. Oh, gets the dink as well, and eventually will take him down. That's the man advantage for Infused, and they have control of the A site. This is such a hard site to retake. Let's see if Endpoint can pull it off.
Yeah, not a great way to kick the round off as well. Mick, this is a filthy angle if he can connect these shots, as he just wants to try and play around it. We'll get one in the end. Imig is going to sideline him, but Dances was ready. This isn't too great. They are falling fairly rapidly. Stanley, luckily enough, is armed with a USP, and he can snipe them down, but Max falls short. It's all on Stanley, and his shoulders couldn't hold up the round this time. Neil, excited as ever.
9-7 now. Will be our scoreline going to the second half. Pistols go 1 for 1, so we are having a very competitive game. Question is, though, are we going to be seeing a full force from Endpoint, considering that the utility is so crucial on a map like Cobblestone to continuously smoke off B platform, have Molotovs to deny a rush. One of the things that usually happens is you can see how many SMGs right now the T's have. They'll carry forward those SMGs into the first buy round, rush somewhere towards middle, towards long, towards B. That's why you want those Molotovs in the first buy round. No head armor as well versus the SMGs could be a big problem. But let's see if that will play a factor. Endpoint going to be forcing up on 3 players here. Imi and Mighty Max only going to be buying CZs or upgraded pistols at that.
Stanley. He's trying to play the close angle here as he just wants to wait and push through. CZ, obviously not the best for the range, but if you can try and get a couple of lucky little taps off, it might work in his favour. Stanley very deadly in these sort of angles. As a support of Fasher as well, as they are just waiting for the push to come in.
Yeah, just holding right now. Fry1 with the AK this time towards platform. The roles have been reversed, but this time there's no deagles for the CT side. It's CZs. They want Infused to get up close and personal and try and use the raw firepower from those pistols up close.
Yeah, set themselves up now as well. They have that utility, so we're going to see them use that before they burst their way through. Smart controls coming into play. They do peek out, but it's not working out. Fasher goes huge with his CZ. Eventually will be traded back, but this is all to play for. Imi as well, taking down Zed is incredibly critical to the flow of the round. Aaron and Fry on the scene of the crime there, trying to get it back in their favor, but they can't quite do it. It's all up to Stanley and Yannick, the CZs versus Fry's AK. He would need to go on to ace the round to win it. It's all been up to Fry. But can he keep it going? Tries to reload the AK here, left with just 9 rounds. He needs to try and find himself a little bit of a lull in the battle. We'll be able to get that reload off. He has 1 flash as well to aid him, Snods. 25 seconds here and the bomb is down.
This would be for the ace as well. 20 seconds left to get the bomb. We'll flash out towards Speedway. Can he get the first gun to Stanley? And then he has to guess where YNC is. Spots on the shoulder, goes for the pre-fire and lands it. The question is now, where is Yannick?
That was critical as well. He had to try and pre-fire that. If he took the raw face, he could have gone down to the
smart.
CZ. Gets his way back round. He's going to try and go for the plant at the right time. Oh, Yannick with a tag as well. He's forced to plant this or he loses. He needs to push in and attempt to kill Yannick. He's won it just off the back of time. He finds the kill as well. Was that just after time or just before?
Guess we're about to find out. If that kill happened after time, then Fry1 will have no round loss bonus. Let's take a look. Oh, he still does, so it's okay.
Yeah, luckily.
That could have been a lot worse. Endpoint replicating exactly what Infused did to them into the second round of the half.
This is good as well. Now, there are 9 points in the 9 rounds on the side of Infused. If they get that extra round, they've guaranteed at least themselves a bonus point. They've got something out of this series. Obviously, in that best-of-1 format, Endpoint don't want that. You know, we've seen that a lot of teams have been saying we want to come in and get these strong wins. They don't want to go into Smash Up and have close games 16-14. They don't want to play the full 30 rounds because they want to just get those wins. They want to show how early on they can build up themselves some points, get themselves up the leaderboard and work their way through at the start of the Elite Series, really set themselves towards the end of playoffs.
Yeah, we saw the difference as well in Season 1 where you had teams that propel themselves to a big advantage early on. Prophecy, for example.
Yep.
Because they did so well early on, they had shakeups towards the end of the season. They lost 2-0 to Infused. I believe they took actually no, they lost day 1 versus Endpoint early on, but they lost series and maps constantly towards the latter portions of the first season. But because of how good of a head start they had at the first portion of the season, that big leg up meant they still qualified. They came third just, and then from there, obviously, they had the incredible Cinderella story versus Team Envious. The favorites of the tournament actually finished off second. So it is incredibly important to have that leg up going into the first half, let's say, of the Elite Series.
Yeah, you've got to get yourself into a good position early on. You've got to give yourself that confidence as well. So let's see if that is going to come into effect. Yannick early on. It's going to go for the smoke and not really push through. Team Infused just going for a bit of a slow default as they set themselves up. With the CZs and the Eagles, seem like they want to go for a bit more of a risky play.
Yeah, MP9 here onto Fasha. 2 UMPs as well right now for the CT side and 2 rifles at that. Full force buy from Infused, which means no AWP for Dances or Fry1 going to the first bar round here in case they lose this round. You can see very passive play towards the A side right now for Endpoint. Going to be having YNC and Imi playing there, both the rifles as well, so can play long range because they have that firepower.
Meg. He's going to be the one who makes the first move here on the side of Infused as they take that Matrix control, working their way through. Going to be clearing it out, then regrouping the rest of the unit. They do have smokes to try and block off the angles. Well, Yannick seems to be aware of the location. They fry with a filthy deagle shot as they push their way. And Yannick needs to go huge here. At least has to get another frag to try and give Endpoint some time to play with. So it's not gone down like that.
Max towards APC, only as the UMP to his name. Needs to get the kill head towards Tree. Off the angle, and now the retake shall begin.
Flashes are coming through, but Max stays alive and kicking as to damage that UMP and really rip him a new one as the flashbang goes through. Stanley late with a lurk. He's spectacular as he finds that shot. It's a 2v2 retake. The bomb is down. The only one armed is going to be Aaron, but that's not a good situation to be in as his back was turned. Stanley will find the killing blow. Dances goes down, and Endpoint tied up at 9-9.
Infused there, they were so scared to kill Max there. He's so exposed towards middle. Dances could have killed him. Player towards Tree could have killed him as well, but they were terrified to go for that peek and potentially overface and throw the round. The same as well goes for, well, not the same, but another issue there, Aaron towards Wood. Did they not hear the player maybe on stage, or somebody was coming? Potentially Neil was shouting, who knows, but something was swept under the rug there. A big piece of information was left uncovered. And from behind, Stanley finds 2 kills, and around that was poised for Infused to try and take and steal away from Endpoint. Eventually they do take it. So, are going to be equal up here. 9-9 is going to run about 19. It's going to be this time only 1 SMG for the side of Endpoint. They're taking no risks this time. 4 rifles for them. And then for the side of Infused, you can see upgraded pistols apart from Dances. With the bomb going down, he might be able to buy an AWP as well into the first buy round. So, a silver lining there for Infused.
Yeah, definitely got a bit of a trick up their sleeve, but see how it is going to eventually unfold. So Fry leads the charge of the Deagle once more as he wants to just try and wiggle his way out. Nade comes in. He's left on 16 HP. No response there as well because no one's going to peek him. Basically just cannon fodder now when they do go for the push towards the site.
Smoke towards platform. We'll probably delay the push here from Infused for another 15 to 20 seconds. No presence towards the A side here from Infused as well, so a wartime push from the side of Endpoint could catch them off guard, but actually YNC's been rotating back towards A. So 1 towards drop, 2 towards B, 3 versus 5 towards the B side in favor of Infused. Can they get the kill onto Max towards drop?
Max ready for it. He will get the first headshot. Nicely done. More coming as well as he's really going for a bit of a cash builder. He's gambled it and it has come up in his favor. Aaron peeking through as well. Wants to try and get the kill on Stanley as he holds by Tree, but it isn't going to be into the round. Fry last alive. Just sitting there right now as he plays around the smoke. 16 HP, single bullet coming out from Stanley will remove him. And Endpoint move on, they get themselves 10 rounds. They are linking these rounds together. Just all about consistency now.
Now, going to be seeing the first full buy round here in the second half. Infused on the T side. What's their style of play going to be? Are they going to be grouping up playing contact style of CS? Are we going to see some strategies, some executions from them? Or are we just simply going to see 3 towards A long, 1 towards B, 1 towards drop, A long take, simple smoke towards connector, flash over, and just try and take the sites with pure firepower? Then again, when you have players like Dances, Fry1, MCK, Aaron, you can definitely play that style.
Yeah, you can be a bit more, you know, wacky with it. You can just try and freeball it a little bit and see how you end up, and occasionally that does work. But strategy is always sort of something you need against teams that are very heavily strategic based, and Endpoint being one of those, it could come back to bite them. Yannick set himself up once again with a smoke, so when they go for this play,
I think it's an HE grenade actually.
He has the smoke ready, mate.
And it's the smoke grenade, you're all right. So as soon as he spots a player cross, he will obviously fall back. But let's see, obviously, Imi holding the cross towards middle from Matrix actually does fall back eventually, but the kill there. Dance, he's straight to the needle, gets the first.
Ah, it's beautifully done. Fantastic frag. The nade does go back in as well, but not that much. No, actually tagging them up, so they're fairly healthy. They go for the fast push as well. Aaron gets the first Zed through middle as well with a late round lurk. Pulls it off absolutely amazingly. Flasher as well, he's in position. He doesn't even need clear vision to find these frags.
Look at the HP as well onto Aaron and Zed. 30 HP combined. And already the play up with all the health. Fry1 would eventually be taken down by Stanley, and somehow, some way, we're into a 2 versus 2. These players have no HP for Infused.
So unfortunate though. Fasha expunging his HE there. If he would have held on to that for a little bit until we heard the bomb going down, that could have been massive. But he threw it out early, was worried someone was playing from close under. This is ridiculous though. 26 HP between everyone left alive on Infused. They've got 2 flashbangs to their name. They've got a rifle. Aaron now recovers the bomb. They are going to be aware of what's occurring as well because the time's ticking away. They don't really have too much time to play within this.
They have to try and play headshot angles. You can see Zed. The problem is if they come out connected, he's a free target.
Oh, swift stuff there from Stanley as well. He was ready for that. You could see he just tears him down in a matter of seconds. They can just double face this as well. Oh. Aaron had to try and go for the spray. Not going to work out. Stanley looking crisp.
Did he spam Fry1 through the smoke there? I have no idea how Fry died.
Yeah.
But the was from a 5 versus 2. Fasha chimes in 2 massive kills towards balcony. 5 versus 3. Stanley potentially through the smoke turns into a 2 versus 2. And somehow, some way, a miracle round win there for Endpoint is at the lifeline they need to eventually close this one out. Stanley, 26 kills in 21 rounds. We didn't even see that. The star performer right now for Endpoint. The question is right now, if you can carry forward that level of momentum and firepower, is that too much to handle for the side of Infused?
I suppose it's just a matter of wait and see right now, as the rebuy does come out for Infused, but look at the utility snods. It's looking a bit like a rundown fairground. There's not a lot to go on, really. You've got a HE and a smoke. What are you going to do with that?
Where is Zed right now? Zed is towards A, so they can, if they wanted to, try to walk through middles, use the smoke towards connector. They have no flashbangs. Aaron's bought an HE grenade instead of a smoke or a flash. Probably not the best buy in terms of utility, but then again, of course, he probably didn't understand actually how low their money was. This is a risky buy from for Infused, sorry. But let's see if they can take control of drop here. Try to go for that spot, but they have no nades to try and aid them.
Yeah, it's really not the ideal spot to be in right now. A bit of a tricky one. So they are trying to take that control towards drop down. They're playing it very slow though. Time ticking away. Only 55 seconds left on the clock now as they've got a bit of drop down control.
Max smoking off electric, which means Fry1 can now lurk towards drop. Bomb being collected by Aaron. Going to be meeting his fellow comrades towards that A-bomb site. 4 players now towards A, 1 towards drop. All they have to their name is a smoke on Zed. 5 AKs as well. And there's only 1 player towards this A site, and that's going to be YNC. Look where he is. This is a one-and-done position. Yeah,
Yannick most likely only going to get that first frag and then go down. He will get 1 and a bit of a tag off, but that's all you can really imagine. There's no position to fall back there. You are completely in the open from all angles. Fry as well waiting for the lurk. They don't know Fry's location. Oh. Somehow he comes out on top of that scenario. Max as well, ratting off pot shot. Stanley comes in for another frag of his own. It's all on Zed. You can see the panic now. Look at this.
These are rounds which Fuse should definitely be taking. Zed now towards under balcony. Spots at the first play, but Stanley is too crisp right now. My goodness. What's that, 28 kills now already?
Yeah.
After just 22 rounds. So far, so good. These are rounds that, this is the thing, you can take away from this if you're Infused. Obviously a fairly new lineup for themselves. I think they are probably one of the newest lineups going into Gfinity Elite Series Season 2. But 5 versus 2, they lost. That round there, they have the edge towards the site. So 4 versus 4, there's only 1 player towards the site. Fry1 losing at the duel versus Stanley goes down. Suddenly you're into a 3 versus 4 in favor of Endpoint. And then, of course, the double play there towards under balcony and balcony from Stanley and Max. Just having that crossfire there just to basically hold the line towards the cross towards default.
I think that's the thing. It's the manner they're losing these rounds in, right? It's not the fact they are just getting these consistent losses.
They have the skill. You can see they're landing the headshots, they're getting the first kills, they're getting the entries. It's the mid-rounds and towards the site and the afterplants where things seem to crumble for Infused. They will be taking a tactical time up here to potentially take a breather, try and reset mentally after losing some very frustrating rounds.
I suppose that's the thing as well. It's actually quite interesting. I mean, who's at the helm of this lineup now with the change around? Did we see Aaron sort of coming in to take over that role of shot putter?
Well, I mean, Zed's in the middle, potentially Zed calling. Obviously, Neilem loves to...
he has called in the past for a lot of Infused lineup.
Yeah, I was about to say, does love to chime in with the calls, but anyway, let's see what they're going to be bringing to this one. Round number 22, Infused. They've only managed to get 1 round in, that's the pistol, and from their endpoint of 1, crazy retakes. Rounds where they had a massive disadvantage, they were able to somehow climb and bring it back. Going into this second, or well, I believe it's the 3rd buy round tip. Actually, it's going to be 2 deagles for the side of Infused. They will be buying up into this one, 3 AKs as well. But this time, decent utility. I say decent. sets of utility on 2 players. Let's see if that's enough here to swarm the B side.
Oh, it's going to be a dirty angle as well from Fasher. If you don't clear this as you push in, just because the sheer amount of angles you have to clear, he can go huge. He peeks out as well. That's going to be 2 swift headshots from him. It's a 3v3, but the rifle advantage is massively stacked in the favor of Endpoint. They are slowed down, but the flashbangs coming in though. Zed still just holding for the lurk.
Used their 1 flashbang for nothing. They've got on with it, but they haven't used the flash to cross, and now the painstaking task of crossing versus the off of Imi is about to begin.
Zed trying to fake that he's gone towards drop down there, as he did make a bit of audio cue noise. That's pretty nice. Max just peeking through, though. No support for Aaron. Imi as well takes down Dances. It's all on Zed, but once again, he's dead.
13-9. How much money does Infused have after going for the 3 AK buy there? They took the risk. They went 1 for 1. They had a 3 versus 3. But again, no utility to cross to the site. If they had 1 smoke grenade to smoke to the right side of the default, so they could cross the statue, get the bomb planted. Suddenly we have a round that could go in favor of Infused. But it seems like they're favoring the AKs and the firepower over the utility. And yes, they may get the 1 or 2 kills and the entries towards the sites, but they don't have enough to hold off the CTs.
Smoke's going to be going through instantly towards drop down as they want to try and slow down this push. Molotov goes back as well. Obviously, just simple stuff to try and delay this push from Infused. And Endpoint playing fantastically. If they can try and keep this up as well, if they win this round, 14 rounds in the bag, Infused still sitting 1 round away from at least guarantee some kind of points on the leaderboard. But Endpoint do not want to let that happen.
Bomb going towards middle. Once again, we're seeing a 3-2 split. This time, though, not towards the B-bomb site, towards Alpha, towards A. Let's see what they can do already. Stanley will be smoked off, and Mighty Max is there to aid.
Max can be the clutch as well. Rounds. Oh, that is unlike Max.
Oh.
That is average Max on display. But luckily enough, you've got, you know, Mighty Imi coming in for the final frag. Does shut it down. Endpoint moving on. Still consistently getting these rounds. This is absolutely fabulous from them. Now, 1 round away from at least securing match point and always having themselves with that to fall back on. Infused, though, they realize how critical this round is.
They need to win 5 on the trot here if they want to bring this one back. Round number 24, let's see. AWP onto Dances this time. And again, the AWP for Imi. Question is right now for Infused. They've tried to go for the splits from drop towards A and B. It seems like they've had a lot of success. They get the 1-for-1 trades or the 2-for-2 trades. They have the sub, but they don't have the utility to take it or to hold off the CT rotation. So now they're going to be going towards B. Dances goes for the pre-fire, but misses it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there as well. That could have been a massive entry. Take down Imi, who's actually playing with confidence here as well with the aggressive face he's taken with the AWP. That would have been a huge kill for Dances.
Still the 5 versus 5 here, 1 minute 25 on the clock. Smoke comes up, but still Fry1 has managed to worm his way out of the smoke. Will he potentially maybe catch Imi off guard? 2 towards A right now from the CT defense, and Imi shoots. Misses though, so Dances is still alive. And we asked them to the 5 versus 5, a minute left on the clock. A good smoke to come out to deny the aggression once again, but look, there's a massive gap in it. Right now you can go for a burst, you can flash, jump out through Speedway. What's the call gonna be?
Let's wait and see as they are getting ready. Thing is, Aaron leading the charge. He's a bit of an artist with the AK, a bit of an assassin. So let's see if he is going to throw the clip in the AK and slay today as he slips out. Mighty Max, though, will spam away, find the initial headshot. Dances fires back. Oh, Imi as well. Keeping things real right now as he finds that headshot on Dances. Bites off more than he can chew, though, and finally on. He's in the rear, and he is ready to do some damage. This is where he's at his best right now as he'll spam away. The initial headshot, take down Fasher. You can see Fry as well, overwhelmed by Stanley. Stanley even. We're about to keep the round together, and it's all on Stan and Yannick.
Yannick's still alive as well, so he knows where one player is, but actually YNC goes for a great call here to go back and wrap around and join Stanley. Let's get the bomb. Can he plant? 10 seconds left when it goes out towards B platform, and the bomb does go down.
Nice HE as well. 61 HP remaining on Zed. Oh, he's going for the rapid shots as he wants to try and pull the finger on the trigger. He will get the tagged, but it's not quite a frag, is it, Snod?
It's quite funny. YNC leaves Connector to try and rejoin Stanley so they can group up, but Stanley actually goes down drop, goes towards Rock anyway, so it still was the exact same setup there. 1 towards Connector and 1 towards his flank. That's B platform. Nevertheless, the match point here for Infused. You can see Neil M there shaking his head. He knows exactly what's gone wrong. It's one of the issues as well, where you know the problems, but you just can't fix it instantly. It's one of those things we have to go away from this. Think about potentially their executions towards the A site, what smokes they need. There is a balcony smoke from A long. They need to add that to their arsenal and have that in their kit they can work in. If they had smokes towards balcony, this could be 12 to 12. This could be 13 to 11 in favor of Infused when you think of the ecos that would have forced. But nevertheless, though, Endpoint will be the victors here. Well, definitely in the front running to be victors here with 6 rounds to play with.
Yeah. 16-9 is an incredible scoreline for them as well, because that means, you know, obviously they just go through, they get all the points here, they lock it down. They show they're the big dogs early on. That's what they want to do, Snods. Oh, here comes the push as they want to tiptoe their way through. Stanley's ready, but unfortunately Stealthy Stanley will get spotted out today as he'll fall to Mick. Fasher as well playing anti-flash, but no, as he'll hit the deck. Imi trying to go for the flicks, but he's only get one today. He's not ferocious enough. It's up to Mighty Max and Yannick, a 2 versus 4. They're outnumbered and outgunned, and they've not got too much time to play with here. Only one kit as well on Yannick.
This may be a safe call here. Even though Endpoint have won so many rounds on the trot, you may as well keep your money afloat, but then again, Mighty Max is feeling confident.
They don't want to let them get this 10th round as well. They have to try and make a play here, and you can see Matt's feeling it. He's got the confidence. Smart Molly goes in. They are playing with time, though. It's starting to go not in their favor. It's Mick and Fry that connect the shots, and Infused to at least guarantee themselves that 10th round.
Something to take away from this game. 15-10. Endpoint still have 5 more chances to close this one out in regulation. I believe the biggest comeback we saw was actually versus Infused, the Excel one.
Yeah.
Obviously, the MCK whiff towards CT ticket booth. The, what is it, 15-9 they brought back? I think it was 6 rounds in a row. And see if Infused can actually reset that one, do it vice versa, and bring us already to our first game with OT.
It's nice as well. Dancy's back on the confidence play. Zed only got a Glock.
Why has he only got Deagle?
I don't know what his cash is like.
How much money does Dancy's have? Dancy's has 4 utility and 2 point... Yeah, so they bought nades instead of dropping, but obviously... I guess...
those nades, though.
Oh, those nades, yeah. We saw the impact those nades had. Obviously more important than the AKs themselves. But let's see, though. It's going to be, once again, the 2-1-2 set up here from Endpoint. 2 players towards A, 1 towards drop, and towards B. Endpoint expecting a play towards the A side. They know that it was weak earlier on, but the retakes were so strong from Endpoint. The good team play, which we haven't been really seeing from Endpoint.
Oh, Mick pre-fires, gives the game away a little bit. That's a nice headshot. How has he not been taken down by Yannick there?
Down just 10 HP. At that point, you may as well give the AK. Actually, Zed will take the M4 off the dead body. Fry one gets a kill towards drop as well into a flash out. Now we see the 2-man advantage here for Infused.
Oh, this ain't great, though. 3 players alive and kicking on the side of Endpoint. Oh, Imi with the time, and it could be horrible as the push is about to come through. Molotov goes in, but position towards mid here, as he was curious where they're coming from. Aaron and Fry go massive into the round, and it's all left on Max.
1 versus 5. Now that Infused have won 2 on the trot, there's no real reason to play for exits here. If he gets the kill, try and save. But eventually he will go down. 15-11 now, 4 rounds separating these 2 teams, as we could be seeing an OT here in the first game. Infused unable to win a regulation. The only way they can win this one is if we go to OT.
There's never much love when you go OT.
Exactly. As a wise man once said.
Hotline bling.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the front runners, in terms of kills, Aaron 23 kills, and Stanley perched up there on 30 already. Stellar performance of the first game for him. But you can see the money right now. They will be going for the Eco. Kevlar only to the 2 players, 5 CZs once again for the side of Endpoint. They managed to win this exact round in the second round of the second half, when they were versus the after the pistol round win, from Infused. So if they can lose, if they lose this one, and it goes 12-15. Suddenly it comes down to that 1 buy round. If they lose that buy round, 13-15, you have to eco that one. 14-15, and it could come down all to round number 13. Endpoint have really 2 more chances in terms of gun rounds to close this one out.
All I'm saying is, Endpoint in the past, they have had some incredible rounds with these CZs.
Yeah, they have. But if you remember the old edition of Endpoint, they were fairly poor at closing out games.
Yeah, I mean, it does always seem like that has been a character trait that's been top of a lot of these players. You know, when they do get themselves into that mindset where they feel like, right, this is it, we've locked it down.
Yeah, it's over.
They never quite are able to close those full games out, but Infused a bit different. They get riled up, they get a bit of a rage going, they start to find rounds when they finally realise the game is basically as good as done. Yannick staying alive for quite a bit of a while there, as he is able to only get a small tag off. Just a slim one on Aaron, but at least the fire does.
Well, that time is good enough for a 2-man rotation to come in from Endpoint. Let's see if Yannick's heroics was enough here to allow the rotation to come in and have Endpoint still secure the site.
That's the last bit utility used as well. Max, unfortunately, if he found the headshot, it could have been huge into the round, but Stanley knows how to wield the CZ as he'll connect one. It's all left on Fasher and Imi. Both of them only have the CZ investment. There's no armor, no utility, nothing they can really hold on to, so they are going to risk it a little bit. They're just trying to play for some exit frags right now, see if they can do anything to do some damage to Infused, but they're starting to tie it back. They're clawing their way back up. It's like climbing a greasy pole. Climbed a greasy pole?
Have I?
Yeah.
No. Have you?
I'm from London, so yeah, all the time.
Yeah. What's the grease? Is it sweat?
No, anti-climb paint, normally.
Are you being serious?
No.
Are you being serious?
All right, back to the game.
Oh, yeah, anyway, Counter-Strike, yeah. Let's see. 12 to 15 now, round number 28, 3 rounds separating these two teams here. And this is the thing, this buy round, if they lose it, 30 to 15, another half buy, another eco, 14 to 15. As I said before in the last round, we're only going to be seeing 2 potential full buys for Endpoint. So they have to get it done now. If this goes OT, then who knows? Anyway, though, it's going to be the play towards the A side here. Smoke comes out towards A long, but Imi is the close angle here.
Oh, Imi tries to go for the initial confrontation. We'll fire off the pot shot, so at least they are aware of where the AWP is situated towards. Infused, though, encourage a little bit. You can see him just tiptoeing in, but they'll back off. Nice reposition here as well. I like this angle.
Yeah, well played there. Good boost from YNC. We saw him play under this position earlier on. He went 1 for 1. When you are boosted up in that position, you can get 1 kill drop off, and suddenly there's a much higher chance of you taking the round. Anyway, though, 1 minute left on the clock here. Still a 5 versus 5, and Infused have control of A long, but actually not going to really be utilizing it just yet.
Making their way through Matrix. Let's see if there's going to be a glitch in the Matrix this time around, those nods, or if they will actually finally get around.
YNC still holding. Does have a Molotov or a smoke? A smoke right now would be so great. 40 seconds left, the smoke goes out, suddenly you're left with 20 seconds, and you're really forced to go through the smoke.
They have to delay time, essentially. They don't clear the angle, though. It's a very easy one to check, but they don't spot it immediately. Annie gets away. Yannick and Imi get fragged. Stanley as well finds 1. This could be the end of the game here right now. Endpoint moving on to claim that 16th round, and Zed has to push through, but Fasher is ready and will strike upon him. It's all up to Dances, but he's been left. He's been abandoned at the disco, and he's a bit scared. Oh, spray down though. Cheeky
Still though, 14 seconds left. He doesn't have the bomb right now. And he's not actually going anywhere near the bomb, which means eventually he will go down. Does get 3 kills, but there you have it. 16 to 12 eventually. Endpoint muster up the courage to go over the finish line and get the first win for themselves.
Very nicely done. Obviously, a bit of a slow, shaky start. It wasn't
slow
quite
burner. Slow burner.
It didn't really look like the Endpoint we've seen before. But it seems like all of a sudden they woke up their CT side as well. Great performance there in terms of teamwork and sort of structure. Looking like they've actually got really good communication. It just seemed like they were a bit slow to wake up today.
We saw in the interview as well from Imi, he said that feels all the players on his team are talking right now. It definitely shows on those retakes and how they structured, defended the A site, the crossfires, the use of nades and the retakes, the way they played off each other as well was very well played from the side of Endpoint. Still though, a close game, 16 to 12. Pierce was going 1 for 1 as well, so we did see a very close game, but of course, Infused did get over 10 rounds.
Yeah, that's the thing. That was actually quite a big kicker for them as well, because it looked like they had been able to deny that win streak, keep them at bay just at 9, keep them there, move through so they don't get any points, but at least Infused get something, a little bit of a consolation prize, so they can still try and bring themselves back as the weeks progress on. Obviously, this is just the first series.